Welcome to the Quarterdeck. It's your favorite Marine Mud here with the host of the show, Jim Bob. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mud. How's things in Colorado?
Cold, 14 degrees this morning.
14, huh?
Yeah.
I've been
Somebody left the air conditioner on last night.
I've been out on my sun deck in my underwear all morning.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, anyways, I figured today we talk a little bit about some of the things that have been going on in the news cycles for the week. Kick it right off just by talking about how much these politicians sound somewhat like the robocalls and the unsolicited calls that I get on a hourly basis. Seems like every day from solicitations, trying to sell health care insurance and insurance, all anything you can imagine. How many do you get a day?
I don't, I have a solid rule that I live by. If you're not in my phone book, if it pops up a number that's calling me and it doesn't say a name of somebody that I know, then I don't answer it. Um, so the only ones that I really know about are the ones that leave me messages, and there's probably I don't know 5 or 6 of them a week. I go through once a week and I throw out all my messages, and
Hmm.
um, but yeah. So I don't know. I just changed numbers, phone number, and it seems like it kicked up. Seems like all of a sudden I'm getting more phone calls from Colorado. No, not Colorado so much. Washington D.C.,
Hmm.
Vermont, all over the place. Connecticut, I got one the other day. I don't answer them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I kind of got wise on the thing. I don't know how they're getting my phone number because it is a corporation. It's a S corporation, uh, a number that's attached that my phone number is. And as soon as I say that, they hang up. I said, you're calling a business, and they just hang up. Don't say sorry, nothing, just done. So I got wise a little bit. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I had decided I was just going to play along with them. I don't know that they even have an actual product they're selling or a service for that matter. But what I've decided to do was, hey, would you mind calling me on my private line? And I'll give them the White House's front desk number, or the FBI's front desk number, and the CIA's front desk number, which I have. If you'd like to post those for anybody who wants to listen to this and I don't know, have a little fun because it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah. Um, I don't know how much they must they must do pretty good with it. They wouldn't be doing it if a lot of people weren't buying stuff from people that just call them out of the blue. I used to in another life, I used to have a job that was telephone soliciting, and it was for a. This is when I was still going to school out in California, but they used to. It was a photography place, and so the hook was you call these people up and you go, "Hey, this is your lucky day. If you can answer the question of the day, you get a free 8 by 11 portrait taken at the blah 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 photography studios." And here's the question of the day: what's the longest single suspension bridge in the United States?
Suspension bridge.
Yes.
Hmm. It's not the one in San Francisco.
That's absolutely right. And you have now won yourself a free 8 by 11. And and you know what else, sir? I'm going to do? I'm going to include a free hibachi barbecue.
Wow.
along with your free portrait. All you have to do is pay $3.99 in taxes on this stuff, and it's all yours for free. Now, what address can we have our guy come by and drop off your certificate for you?
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, and so the company would have, and later on, we got a gal that was really good on the telephone, so they put me out in the field because I was the best closer. I was the one that would go up to the door and go, yes, Mr. Scogan, here is your certificate, and you take this down there and get your. They have the barbecue down there just waiting for you. I got your name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, so it's been around for a long time. It's not going away, but this telephone stuff, I don't know why anybody talks to these guys, want to sell you insurance, want to sell you whatever it is.
It's amazing that I have more blocked numbers in my phone than I actually have contacts.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that might be a record there. I don't know. More
well,
blocks than contacts, huh?
yep. Yep. That's a fact. Every day I block at least
Yeah, I
two.
always heard you were a friendly guy. It kind of surprises me that all these people you'd be blocking them. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that I learned over the course of I learned this in 2016 is when I registered my company with the federal government so that I could do contracts with the federal government. The only way to do it is to sign up with an entity called SAMS, SAM, I think it is. I may be getting that confused with the LSAT. Kind of the same thing. But then ultimately I had to register with Duns and Bradstreet. Well, as soon as I registered with Duns and Bradstreet is when all of this nonsense started. Come to find out, I spoke with somebody at Dun and Bradstreet regarding it, and I don't know if it was just a whistleblower or what, but this guy just flat out told me, "Yes, sir, we sell your information. It's 400 or $410, and we sell your information, your address, your phone number, and your website or email address, whichever. If you have both, then obviously both." And I said, "You got to be kidding me." He goes, "No, no, that's common practice." I said, "So in order for me to do any business with the government, I have to allow them to sell my information because I can't do anything without your endorsement. You have to check me out or however it works." Like I said, this is 2016. And I was floored. I was like, "You got to be kidding me. That's not even American. Like, you just can't go around selling people's info. And who's going to hold you responsible because you work for the government?" Anyways, that was, like I said, it was 2016 and I never re-upped with them. I didn't, they sent me emails like in 2019, 2020, about, update your info. I was not doing that. It never happened. Like, that's okay.
uh-huh.
I'll stay with the private sector. But
Yeah. Well, I think they sell everything anymore, man. I mean, and it's not just the government. It's and they're listening to us, Mike. I
I
mean,
hope so.
I I was talking on just in my living room to somebody the other day about uh, a cat that came up missing around my house. And now you go on the internet, every fourth or fifth thing is something about cat food or
Yep.
toys or this or that. It's crazy.
The only thing that I found that's been beneficial for that, because I know I have an Alexa and I use that instead of a person to hire. I have Alexa, so that's my personal assistant. She tells me what to get at the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera. But she listens to everything I say, and I've only found that the beneficiary of the benefits of having her around is it saves me a few keystrokes whenever I go to Google something.
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
you trust her with a secret though? That's the big question.
at my age, I don't have many secrets.
Oh, I've heard that one before, but no.
That's what they all say, right? Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's a good segue into this next this next item that I think is worth talking about is speaking of the government and they're not helping out citizens. Look at this Joe Biden guy. He's abandoned his citizen. And one in particular that everybody knows is Trump. You know, he he has absolutely not stepped up and said, "No, I'm sorry, courts, you're not going to treat our citizens the way you're treating them." 355 million. There's more laws and statutes and presidents regarding his civil suit where he lost 300. He was fined $355 million when there was no victim, no harm, no loss of goods or service, no nothing. Just somebody woke up one day and said, "You know what? I have the power of a robe. I'm going to go ahead and just charge. Let's just throw a number out there: 355 million." And
yeah.
you think Joe Biden, he's over there talking about, what you call it, uh, the Alexei guy, the guy in Russia that Putin killed last week. He's talking about doing 500 sanctions for a guy he's not even a U.S. citizen. What about a U.S. citizen that you got right here in your front yard? Why aren't you stepping up for your own citizens? You abandoned him. He's no good for this country at all. Rotten.
Well, the guy there, you can say so much about Biden. I mean, you could start anywhere, and none of it's good. He's never been that. He's never been on top of anything really, except maybe. Well, I don't know what he's been on top of, but he's definitely not on top of his game. And I just heard we were talking about secrets, and you got no secrets, and blah blah blah. Well, one of the latest little tidbits that they let leak out of the White House. Evidently, one of the White House aides is um, doing some kind of a tell-all thing, and they claim that Uncle Joe Biden, the president of the United States of America, goes around to all his staff and the people in the White House on a almost daily basis. And one of his favorite things that he tells them is, the secret to a good marriage, like me and the doctor have, is a good sex life. Now, Mud, I don't know about you, but I think I think Joe, I think Joe is. I don't know if exaggerating is the right word, but uh, Clay Travis came up with a great thing. The next thing that we're going to see out of this whole Biden situation is a sex tape, a Biden sex tape. Now, can you imagine that? I
Featuring
mean,
Hunter.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, and I tell you, I was thinking about this. It wasn't my immediate reaction, but the more I thought about it, the more true I think it is. I mean, I think anybody that has watched Biden over the last 3 years knows he's not all there. He has some. He's in some stage of dementia, um, and as you know, I have that going on in my family. I have a couple of family members that have dementia, and I have been kind of watching what's going on. I've taken a few workshops to try to understand my family members better and kind of be able to help them um, along. And one of the big things that I have discovered about dementia is they go back in time and they start talking to you as if it was 40 years ago. And I'm wondering if that's not what's happening with Joe. He's wandering around the White House talking to all these people, telling them about what good sex he has, you know, and he's back in his 20s in his head. That's what I think's going on. But
Well, whatever it is, it's not healthy, and there ought, in my opinion, there ought to be some kind of repercussions for the people that are allowing him to do that.
yeah,
Namely his wife.
well, in the world that I come from, the dementia, Alzheimer world, that's elder abuse right there.
Right.
You take somebody that's not all there, and you put them in a situation like Joe's in. That's not right. I mean, who knows what emotional stuff he's going through? You know,
I think it's probably she's tired of packing up and moving. She just,
oh,
just
she
gonna,
likes the power, she likes the money, she likes being first lady. You
yeah.
know, that's what. Hey, all you have to do, Mud, go to YouTube and Google a Joe Biden anything from 2020, a
Mhm.
speech, anything that where you can watch the way he walks, the way he talks, and then watch something from this last week, and you go, man, that guy needs to be in a home. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
seriously, he's
Agreed. Yeah.
he's just, and then on top of it, I mean, yesterday they came out with the latest numbers. He has a 38% approval rating.
Hmm.
38%.
Right. There's absolutely no hope for that campaign. Which brings me to, some term that I think I want to go ahead and introduce to the courts. If they need a statute to charge Jill Biden, how about we call that, the statute is called aiding and abiding. So we got
I
aiding and
like
abiding.
that. Aiden and a Biden.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and it's unfortunate that his handlers haven't figured out that the United States citizen, the not the average, the United States citizen period is onto these clowns. I was looking at some stats and some other figures for regarding the Ukraine, the funding Ukraine war, Putin's war chest monies, and it came about whenever I was listening to the Alexei Navalny, or whatever his last name is, the Russian guy they killed. And Biden came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put 500 sanctions." Well, I was thinking, well, name one. It's because there's only one sanction that would end all the chaos over there. If he would have done this 2 years ago, if he would have sanctioned energy from Russia, they wouldn't have the money to fund this war. The hell, there probably wouldn't even be a war. But I don't know what he's sanctioning. I'm sure there's a list somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. So it just makes common sense. You killed our energy dominance, but we're buying energy from another country that's being sold to from Russia. It's just so why would we ever send another dollar to Ukraine when all you have to do is sanction Russia's energy, and
Right.
this whole thing would be over?
Right. And it goes even deeper than that, Mud.
I'm sure it does.
It's it's what we have done has forced Europe, our allies, into doing business with them, because we aren't producing any petroleum, everybody's got to go to our enemies and buy it. It's crazy. You
Sure.
know, you and I in the past, we've talked about how crazy this whole thing is. Everything uh, from the open borders to the stop pumping oil to the shutting down of the pipelines to the just printing money like it's going out of style to the canceling of student debt, all these things that do nothing but cost us Americans money and threatens our situation in the world. Now, what in your experience would be the reason for all this? What do you think? What do you think's behind it all?
Secrets.
What is it?
Secrets.
Secrets.
Yeah.
Somebody's got secrets on
They
him.
got the goods on. Oh, come on. He boasts about it every time he gets in front of a camera where the question's asked about his fitness or something. And he's always, I've been doing this for 45, 50 years. And yeah, I'm telling you, anybody that's ever worked a job for 45, 50 years or been married for 50 years or 40 years, you have secrets. That's part of it. What those secrets are, well, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate, but you can't be in a power or in a position of power like he has been for his entire career and not have secrets that are probably damning.
Well, we know anybody that with any common sense has to realize that they've been selling their name,
The brand, right?
influence, whatever it is, to
Yeah.
China, to the Ukraine. I honestly believe that that's why we're in the Ukraine is because of all the stuff with Hunter Biden that was going on over there, Burisma and
Mm-hmm.
uh, that to me is just too big of a coincidence. This big
Yeah.
thing going on with Biden, and then all of a sudden we jump into the Ukraine with both feet against Russia, and Mud, the chances of Russia losing this thing against the Ukraine.
Right.
I mean, really?
And one might even think that Ukraine's funneling the billions of dollars the U.S. is sending and sending them straight to Russia. It's a front. It could be. I mean, I don't know the people over there. I've been all the way around the world. Excuse me, but I've never been to Russia, Ukraine. I don't really know those people. I never studied them in the military when I was tasked to go around the world and stuff like that. It wasn't a place that I went. So I don't really know the people. I don't know their strategies, but I can tell you there's a difference between, you can't just I don't think you can just say the word Asian anymore. I think you have to determine, are they Chinese or are they Japanese? Some people take real big offense, and there's a big difference between the two.
Yeah,
So I don't
Korean,
know. Korean.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big difference. But it amazes me. I mean, it's borderline insanity, Mud. I mean, anybody that would do this, um, it's that's what I struggle the most with, is trying to figure out what motivates these people to be doing this, because it's got to be money. It's got to be money and power,
Yeah.
and
Because they can. They can during
yeah,
this administration.
yeah.
But this, it kind of, it doesn't make a lot of sense for this administration they just sent out over 500 sanctions or 500 sanctions for somebody as a consequence for somebody who's not even a U.S. citizen. You know, when what was that basketball player that was arrested for having dope over in Russia?
Oh yeah, the
Now,
woman,
there was no sanctions for they didn't sanction anything. They didn't sanction Russia for her.
no,
I mean, it's appalling. The U.S. is willing to go out of their way and spend money for somebody who's not even a citizen. Yeah, his daughter's going to college on the West Coast, but what about the people that are getting killed every day? About these are citizens we're talking about, and there's no sanctions. So
right,
what's the motivation for that?
right. And you look at what's going on with Trump. I mean, you mentioned a little bit about it, as far as how they're just throwing everything at him. But my belief about this is that it is so un-American. It is so unconstitutional. It is so communistic, dirty, corrupted, what they're doing. I mean, just this little case that they have, little case, where now they're saying is almost $400 million, and this gal that's the attorney uh, general of whatever, New York or whatever, is saying that if he can't come up with the money, we're going to take all his buildings away from him, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And they can't even find a victim. I mean, the banks came in and go, hey, we want to do business with him again. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And you talk about crazy, Mud. What about Fanny? I'm not talking about yours or mine.
Yeah,
I'm talking about this Fanny.
Willis.
What's her name?
Willis.
Willis. Fanny Willis.
I would be
What
surprised
in
if she
the
comes out of this
world?
thing.
And this woman is what's her title? She's
uh,
attorney general of New York City or New York.
no. She's down in Georgia.
Oh, that's right. She's the Georgia gal. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's Attorney General of Georgia or Atlanta or something. I don't know if she's how high up,
Well, she's
but
elected, so whatever Georgia does, as far as their elections.
right.
Yeah, I would be highly surprised if all she does is come out of this thing losing her bar license or her law
Oh,
license.
I think so.
I think that'd be the best case scenario for her, to be honest
Him
with you.
too.
He didn't even practice criminal law, so I don't even know why he's an ambulance chaser.
I know, but dude. Now
So,
I don't know if you seen the headlines yesterday. If you've seen any new developments on this thing, they got his phone, they got his cell phone, and I just jotted a couple of things down here. He was he was he was at her condo over 35 times
ooh,
before they said they had any relationship going. And then check this out. In a 2-month period of time, they during the time that this whole Trump, they're going to go get Trump and crucify him, they had over 2,000 telephone calls and over 12,000 texts in a 2-month period of time. And because they could ping the phone and know that he was there at her condo, they've even got a timeline. There was a couple of times when one of them would call the other one like at 11, 12 midnight, and he'd go over there and he'd be there until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning talking about legal stuff, I'm sure, right?
oh, I'm sure.
But it's just that is par for the course. What's going on with this whole political, legal, what do they call it? Lawfare against Trump, man.
Yeah, well, and what I was doing while you were when you were explaining all that, I was trying to look up the Georgia state of Georgia's statutes or some because I know certain states you have a bar certified attorney and you have a board certified attorney, which is two
Hmm.
different animals. I can speak about Texas. Texas is if you're a board certified attorney, it doesn't mean you went to law school. It could mean that you just challenged the test and did well enough to where okay you're board certified or but and the board I'm not 100% sure about this, but the board certification typically deals with ambulance chasers, the attorneys that you see on the TV if you had a motorcycle accident or uh, an 18-wheeler ran you off the road. A lot of those guys are board certified. I don't they may also well be bar certified, but I know there's a difference, and I was trying to
Yeah.
look that up. I couldn't find anything. Just I'll have to get back with the listeners and clarify that a little bit more next
Well, I
cast.
saw somewhere where he's never prosecuted a felony case
Which would be
before
criminal. Yeah.
before this one. You're right. But here's the thing that I'm wondering about her, Mud, is at least in Arizona, Texas, I know Arizona a little bit, but elected officials, we have a county attorney elected, we have a state attorney elected. We even have town attorneys and stuff now. Usually those guys are appointed, but I would, I don't know what Fannie is. I don't know if she's elected the attorney general for the state of Georgia or whether she's the attorney general for Atlanta, Georgia, which is where the case is taking place.
Hmm.
But no matter what, I think these guys they've perjured themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they have these and here's the thing that's the most amazing thing is here's a woman that is an elected attorney general of something, and she doesn't understand about cell phones and how they've got all this evidence. I mean, they've got it on you and me and
Well, you know how that evolved was they already had that evidence. I mean,
yeah, they
that's what
asked those
prosecutors do.
questions specifically because they had it.
Yeah.
They just asked them and let them perjure themselves.
Yep. They set them
Uh,
up and they I mean, you talk about bait, line, sinker. I mean, that's a wrap. But
yep, yep, they're going down. They those two are going down. I don't know how hard, but they've got them on perjury if they want to, if they want to do it. Um,
I think they should. I don't think I don't think those people are serving the state that they were either elected or appointed to serve. I don't think they're doing a job that because think about it. She actually ran on that platform that she was gonna get them.
yeah,
And
the other one in New York did too.
yeah, well,
Both of
guess
them.
what? You're not getting them. So I guess the people of the state of Georgia are done with you. Kick her to the curb. She's not gonna be able to
Well,
fulfill that. No other
right.
prosecutor, no other attorney general or whoever replaces her is going to take this thing up. It would be career suicide. It
I
makes no
agree.
sense. Yeah.
I
So I think
agree.
it's dead. I think Trump he won that one fair and square, even though there was some manipulation on the state side. I think you got it.
So, Mud, you, of course, you're in Colorado now. Uh, Beautiful place, about one of the most liberal cesspools, Denver, that I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Beautiful, but man, those people are messed up in the head. I'm sorry, Denver, um, but coming from Texas and me, Arizona, what do you think about this whole border thing, man? I mean, what is and now of course um, Uncle Joe is saying that it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault that we've got all these people coming in.
Right. I don't know how anybody could stomach listening to that guy talk about the past administration compared to what his administration has failed to do. Makes no sense to me. And I don't think it does to anyone else for that matter. However, the border thing is a complete sham. I mean, I think I think he was probably leveraged into keeping those borders open as long as he has. So, I'm telling you, a guy in his seat has got secrets that span the globe, and is my opinion. Now, I don't have any true facts to back it up other than common sense. I think he's letting these people in and then not charging them criminally whenever they commit murders and stuff like that. There's a reason. I don't know what that reason is. It's not common sense.
I, I think personally, I think the whole border thing has so many different layers to it
Yep.
that it's hard to really focus on one thing that's the cause. I think I was reading a deal here not too long ago. There's over 80,000 children missing uh, that are involved with that whole border situation where they take these kids because they aren't with adults supposedly, and they take them and they've disappeared. They don't know where they are. Um,
I'd tell I'd be the first place I'd tell them to look is Epstein Island.
well, it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
and as long as you bring it up, we still don't have the black book.
Yeah.
They've come up with a few names of people that were just outed in the beginning, so we know,
Mhm.
Bill Gates has been there, and
Hillary's been there.
Slick Willie and Hillary, but that that list, the total list, we're never going to see that list unless somebody has some gets their hands on it and gets it out there. They're never going to release that.
Yeah, we got a better chance. We got a better chance of finding out who killed JFK than we're going to see that black book.
Well, yeah, I it's it's just crazy. And the whole border situation, I think, is tied to that. It's tied to, obviously they think um, they're going to be able to let them vote sooner than later. So they think that's going to bolster their ability to win offices and stuff. Like I've told you in the past, Mud, I'm just afraid we may never have another free election in this country. You know, it worries me that Arizona here, Maricopa, the state of Maricopa, just has so much clout. We can't do anything. They're still using those voting machines. They're still sending out millions of ballots to everybody. It's I don't know what I don't know. I'm hoping and I'm praying that the Trump people have a handle on this and have a game plan on how to shut it down this time. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
Hmm. Well, since you're out in Arizona, give my best to the attorney general and the county attorney that's housing that illegal migrant that started in New York, killing that girl, and then moved his way all the way up to Arizona. They caught him in Maricopa because I guess he stabbed somebody, a couple women at the McDonald's. And
Right.
yeah, give her my best, and
Yeah, New York wants him back so they
yeah,
can let him go, and
don't
our
do it.
gal won't do it. I'm with you, man. She's got a fan in me. I had never heard of her
Right.
before, but yeah, she stepped up on that deal.
Good for her. Yeah, I was so happy to hear that because she's exactly right. She turns that guy over. She'll never get justice for the victims here in Arizona, and she's also not going to get because that guy Bragg, he knocks everything down to misdemeanors.
Hmm.
Yeah, that attorney, his last name is Bragg, Bragg. He's just
Yeah, brag. That's why the guy got to Arizona, is because they cut him loose.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah.
So talk about cutting somebody loose. One of the things that happened this week was they cut Commander loose. Um,
Yeah,
now, now, I've got I've got a dog here. He's laying at my feet right now. If he ever growled at anybody, I think I'd be surprised. But
hmm,
from what I'm reading, this dog bit 24 different people. I mean, it's incredible.
right,
And you know that he's the second dog. They had a dog. They had a. This is Commander. What was the other one? General, or I don't know. It had a military name, but they had to get rid of him too. Now, dude, I'm a dog person. You know that.
right.
A dog, a dog is the product of the environment that it's raised in.
Hmm.
Dogs don't go around biting people and terrorizing people unless they're living in an environment that you know leads to that and supports
Yep.
mean, crazy stuff. I'm telling you, there must be some wild things going on in that White House.
There has to be. I'm not a dog person. I've only owned one dog in my entire life. It was a good dog, and he was, when you bring it up, he was a product of his environment. He stayed outside. It didn't matter if it was raining or it was cold. It didn't matter. You're absolutely right. And at my other place where I live in Key Cocker, Belize, Central America, they have a lot of there's pit bulls that just run up and down the road. They're wild dogs, but they don't go around biting people. Because if
Right.
anybody's been to Key Cocker, that's the most easy, laid back, go slow key that I've ever been to.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nicaragua is the same way. They got a lot of dogs that run the streets, especially up in the mountains in the little villages. People feed them and stuff, but they don't
Yeah.
attack people and bite people.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens and they put them down. It's pretty simple.
Hmm. Well, for some reason, that commander dog, he's got bad blood, or he's got a chip on his shoulder, whatever it is. You can get taken to court by somebody who's uh, has been bitten by your dog. You can be taken to court, sued civilly, and if it's a multiple infraction, then it could go up to a criminal charge, negligence. And here you got one that bit 24 different times. How does that dog still not have fluid running through his blood to put it down? I mean,
Yeah, how is it still alive? I don't get that.
I don't either,
It's
but
crazy.
it is.
Um, how about um, you know what's happening today? Today in uh, what is it? South Carolina?
Oh, yeah, the primaries.
Yeah, is it South Carolina or North
It is
Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina,
That's
yeah.
where Nikki Haley's
Yeah,
from.
the primary is going on today, and your girls running against Trump.
Like I said, I'm a Gowdy. I'm a Trey
Yeah,
Gowdy. That's just I don't know anybody who would stand in a bull ring with that guy and compete uh, verbally with this guy. He'll tear you apart. He'll tear you apart. I've seen him.
yeah,
I've seen him in Congress and how he reacts to certain questions and asks certain questions. He didn't play,
right.
and he's
Okay,
still
so
young enough.
We're getting close to our time here, Mud. Did you want to talk about what people are doing
So,
now?
yeah, so I came up with this idea. I wanted to do, it's kind of like, where are they now? It's what are they doing now? And unfortunately, everything that I pulled up, I wanted to talk about James Comey. I wanted to talk about another one that I looked up was the Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Hardy. Remember back in the 80s, the Olympic tryouts when she smashed her knee,
Oh yeah,
and
came
I wanted to,
after,
right.
came after her. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few of them, and then also I wanted to touch on where is Arnold Schwarzenegger's housekeeper that he
Okay.
accidentally impregnated.
Well, lay it on us. Lay it on us.
Well, and then I just wanted to get a little feedback to see if those are some of the characters in today's society that anybody's not thinking about. It just popped in my head last night over in the kitchen, and I started looking at it, and it turns out that there's really not much going on that's that I could find hard evidence, at least attach a source to. But as far from what I see, from what I saw, is that James Comey, former FBI director, is just writing nonfiction books. That's it. He said it's more challenging than writing fiction books. Or wait, yeah, reverse that. He's writing fiction. He said it's harder to write a fiction book than it is nonfiction. Nancy Kerrigan, I think she's I can't remember exactly what it's. Anyway, she married her trainer or something. I think they're still married, and there wasn't much about that. And then I found nothing on Schwarzenegger. I don't even know if he's still in California.
Well, did you see the Super Bowl ad with Schwarzenegger?
I
I
did.
mean, he's I don't know. That was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Comey, the problem with Comey, he's writing fiction now. He's
Yeah.
pretty good at fiction because when he was on the national scene, he come up with quite a bit of fiction actually in my estimation.
Hmm.
And Tanya, I read something about Tanya not too long ago. I forget what it was, but who was the gal that she
Nancy Kerrigan.
Nancy, yeah. I wonder what she's doing.
That's who I was looking up.
Oh, you
That's
couldn't
who I
find anything, huh?
no, I found that from what I read, she's married to her then trainer. So they've been married all these years. I think they have 3 kids.
I was gonna say
And
I heard she had some kids, yeah.
yeah, she had 3 kids. And I think the consequence for Tanya's actions were 500 hours community service. Obviously probation. So you got probation plus 500 community service, and then $115,000 fine, something like that.
Mm.
just
Okay,
it's
final
just,
question.
yeah.
Final question. Um, Mud, are you a big ice skating fan?
Jim Bob, my ice skates have brakes. That's all I can tell you. Anybody that's ever done figure skating or played hockey, they know what I'm talking about. The little I don't know what they are. I call them brakes on the front. they're just figure skating skates. I didn't know that till I spent some time in Canada,
Uh-huh.
and I was schooled pretty hard on that.
Well, there you go. I'm more of a roller skating guy, although I haven't
Okay.
been on a pair of them in 40 years, but
Well, perfect.
all right, Mud. Well,
Sounds good.
you got anything else for us before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. Maybe just why don't we end this with a little prayer, hallelujah. God bless everybody in the world. And how would you like to end it?
Hey, that sounds good to me. I'd like to ask the good Lord above for some guidance and protection in these insane times that we're living in.
Amen.
And I know He will watch out for us, and it's all going to work out one way or the other.
Perfect.